Hey guys, Redneck Mini 14 here, and man, it's been a while since I've done a video. Life has been pretty crazy recently, but I wanted to do a quick video today on my top 5 favorite woods guns. Now, what is a woods gun? A woods gun is basically a handgun that you carry either in the woods or just around your property, whether you're hunting or hiking, fishing, kayaking, backpacking, or just walking around your property. It's a handgun that you use for defense, or possibly even a secondary hunting gun as a backup to your rifle or your shotgun. So I've carried quite a few handguns as woods guns over the years, and I have come to draw more towards certain guns over other guns, and these are probably my top 5 out of the ones that I own and the ones that I've carried in the past that were belonged to other people, but these are probably my top 5 out of everything that I personally have experience with. So in really no particular order, we'll just start off with it. So up here, we have a Ruger Blackhawk in 41 Magnum. This, I think, is the newest, or at least the one that I got most recently out of all of these 5. I primarily got this to be a hunting sidearm for alternative method season, to be a backup to a muzzleloader, or even an AR pistol, which I also have. But I got one of these to go for alternative method season, but it also can be used for self-defense if I need to. I mean, this is a 41 Magnum. I mean, this could take out bears if I really needed to. There aren't really any bears around here, at least no grizzly bears. But if you were in bear country, a 41 Magnum would do the job just fine if you had to. Now, this is more primarily for hunting purposes because of the longer barrel. This is a 6.5-inch barrel, so it's more accurate. It has a nice, good set of sights with that nice high-vis red ramp up there. And of course, it is single action. And as you can see here, it is unloaded, but it is single action. You have to pull that hammer back. So not the best gun in the world in terms of self-defense, but it definitely is a good hunting sidearm and definitely a good gun to carry in the woods with you. I also have one of these in 357 Magnum with a shorter barrel, like a 4 5/8 or 4 3/4 or whatever, where the barrel just ends at the ejector rod housing. I do have one like that as well, and that is another one that I have carried, and I like that one as well. But I mean, that kind of goes in line with this one. The only difference is the caliber and the barrel length. So Ruger Blackhawk, definitely a good choice. Another good choice for me is the Ruger P Series. This is a P89. This is the first Ruger P Series pistol that I ever bought, and this one is loaded, by the way. Just loaded from the last time I went shooting. Nothing in the chamber. But I have carried this gun and several other Ruger P Series in the past, and I do love carrying them. They're good, reliable, full-size pistols. This one has a 4.5-inch barrel. Some of them have 4-inch barrels, but they all have the same basic grip frame, that good full-length grip frame that I love. They're all, at least all the ones that I have, are double action, single action with a safety decocker, or just a decocker on some of them. And they're just really good guns to shoot and to carry in the woods. This particular one, like I said, Ruger P89 or any of my 9mm P Series has a capacity of 15 plus 1. I also have some 17 round magazines So, 17, 18 rounds of 9mm, that's nothing to sneeze at. So definitely would make a good pistol for defense against coyotes, bobcats, maybe even mountain lions. People, if you come across a person that might attack you in the woods, I don't know. But definitely a good option, definitely enough capacity. It's 9mm, it's perfectly lethal on all those animals that I said. I probably wouldn't carry this in bear country, but coyotes, wolves, bobcats, maybe even mountain lions, I think this would work on all of those. One that I carry quite often out at the farm, and it's mainly just because it's just so easy to just keep grabbing the same gun over and over again. That's already in a holster, but it is the Glock 22. This is a 40 cal Glock. Now this one is loaded, and there is one in the chamber, so I'm not really gonna mess with it too much, but it is loaded. And it is a 40 cal with a 15 plus 1 capacity. You can get those plus 1 extensions on the 40 cal. And I love this gun because of the power to capacity ratio. 40 cal, it is a good, powerful semi-automatic pistol round, compared to 9mm or even 45 for that matter. It does pack quite a punch, and 15 or 16 rounds, that's a lot of firepower in 40 cal. The only thing that I think is better than 15, 16 rounds of 40 cal is 15 or 16 rounds of 10mm, which would be the Glock 20, which I think would be an even better woods gun. But I don't have a Glock 20. I would like to have one day, but for right now, I just have the Glock 22, and it is a good, reliable pistol, and I carry it all the time out at the farm, just around the property. I've carried it hunting before, and depending on which state you're in, you might have to be restricted to 10 rounds for a hunting sidearm. I guess even if it is for protection, but not necessarily in all states. And obviously a woods gun is more for just hunting purposes, so 15 rounds of 40 cal or even 15 rounds of 10mm is definitely a good option for a woods gun. Now this is the only gun out of these 5 that I haven't personally carried in the woods or just carried in general, because I really don't have a good open carry holster for it. I do have a like an inside the waistband holster for it, but this is a Ruger SR 1911 Commander. Now I said I haven't carried this one yet, but I have carried a 1911 Commander in the past that was very similar to it. It was actually a Colt. This is a Ruger, obviously, but it's basically the same gun. I mean, this one has 8 rounds, actually no, 7 rounds. I do have some 8-round magazines for it though, of 45 ACP, single action only, but as opposed to like a single action revolver, you can carry this cocked and locked. So you can have it, have the hammer back and then have the safety up and have it cocked and locked. So then all you got to do is take your, brush off the safety and then you're ready to go. But this is a good 1911. I really enjoy shooting it. I have had some problems shooting hollow points, so I might have to experiment with different defensive ammo to figure out what would be the best for actually carrying in it. But as far as shootability, I really love shooting this gun. It has a 4.25 inch barrel, I think is what the Commanders have. Has these Novak sights, 3-dot Novak sights, so it's a pretty good setup. The skeletonized trigger and hammer and everything. and the nice big beaver tail safety. It's just a really good looking gun and a really fun gun to shoot. It has a really nice single action trigger pull, so I really love shooting this gun. And like I said, I have some 8-round magazines for it, so 8 rounds of 45 ACP. That's nothing to sneeze at, so definitely will do the trick against coyotes, bobcats, all those creatures that you might come across, that might be rabid or just might attack you for whatever reason. So this is definitely a good option. And like I said, I've carried a 1911 before, and I thought it was a good gun to carry. Now, the last one on the list is probably my favorite all-around woods gun, and I've done a video on why I think this gun is the best all-around woods gun, but this is a Ruger Security 6 and 357 Magnum, has a 4-inch barrel, and is a double-action, single-action 357 Magnum, 6 rounds, and I just think that a good 357 Magnum revolver like this makes one of the best, if not the best, woods guns that you can carry. I have carried this one hunting and just around the property. I haven't carried it recently because I've mostly been carrying the Glock, but I am going to go back and put this one back into the rotation of a gun to carry. And it's just a really good gun for this purpose. 357 Magnum, I think, with the exception of the 41 Magnum, but that's more of an oddball caliber. 357 Magnum is better than 9mm 40 or 45, in my opinion. As far as power goes, obviously you only have 6 rounds, but 6 rounds of 357 Magnum is pretty potent compared to 7 rounds of 45 ACP and maybe even 15 rounds of 9mm. So, I mean, 357 Magnum is just a really good all-around round, especially if you have some really good, hot, powerful Magnums. That will definitely take down just about anything you want if it came down to it. Just like with the 41 Magnum, you could take out bears with this thing if you really needed to. Now, I would probably go with something bigger bore if I was in bear country, especially grizzly bear country. Black bears, no problem. But, grizzly bear, brown bear, I'd probably go with at least the 41 Magnum. In fact, I'd probably go with the 44 Magnum. But I don't have a 44 Magnum, I got the 41 Magnum, so that's, without buying another gun, that would be the gun I would take. But anyway, the Ruger Security 6 is probably my all-around favorite as far as a woods gun goes. But any of these 5, in my opinion, would be an excellent choice. And I do have other options. Like I said, I have several different Ruger P Series. I got them in 40 and 45. They all work. I've carried them all from time to time. Any Glocks. I only have one other Glock, and I have a few other revolvers, but any of these guns would be a good choice for a woods gun, and I'm sure there are other guns out there that I don't personally own that would also make good woods guns, but I don't own them, so they couldn't make the list. So, because I couldn't show them to you, and I don't have the experience with them. So anyway, that's my top 5 favorite woods guns. Hey, before I go, I just thought I'd remind everybody that I do have a second channel called Redneck Off the Range. Over there, I post most of my non-gun related content, so whether it's a video on my new tractor, my power tools, my projects that I'm working on, maybe wild game recipes, or just a random vlog, I post all of this kind of content over on my secondary channel. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, go check it out, Redneck Off the Range. But that's all for this video, so subscribe to my channel, like me on Facebook. I'm Redneck Mini 14, and until next time, be safe.